Well, I got married very young. I married my high school sweetheart, and we got married at 18. A year after we were married or so, I got pregnant with Tiffany. I had her when I was 20.
We moved around a lot when I was a kid. My dad was in the military.
We moved 9 times before she was 10. She struggled in kindergarten. She didn't know all of her letters when she started, had trouble reading.
Being in the classroom when I was younger was tough. I do have a couple of report cards from when I was in school in Germany that there's letters circled on it that I knew the alphabet for. The ones that weren't circled were the ones that I didn't know. And so to look back at that sort of just hurts because it's like, how did I not know my ABCs? I was embarrassed. If I didn't know a word, know how to sound something out, it was difficult for me. I didn't speak up a lot in school just because I wasn't sure. If I didn't know the answer, I didn't want to get made fun of.
When she was in elementary school, I got a note home actually one day saying Tiffany was eligible for a mentor. And at first I was like, oh, okay. What am I doing wrong that I can't help her enough? And then when I found out a little bit more about it, it was at school and it was helping her. And by that time I had another baby. We had just moved into our house, so I got remarried. So she sort of struggled with moving a lot, going through a divorce, getting a new stepfather, and having another sister. So the mentoring, the more I thought about it, that's a good idea. She needs some one-on-one time, someone to specifically dedicate to her. You know, let's help you read, let's talk.
It was in, I believe, 1992 or 93. Tiffany was in elementary school, and they signed me up with her because I had requested anyone that had problems reading. And so when I met Tiffany, my first impression, of course, is what a sweetheart, what a little doll she was.
I vaguely remember it, but it was, I was in 4th grade, I believe, and I was pulled out of class and said that that this was Pat, and she was just gonna hang out with me.
To be honest with you, I don't think Tiffany and I talked much about reading in probably the first month. We just talked about her moving, and she opened up. And as she opened up to me, she became more and more comfortable with my then approaching her about the love of reading and the love of a book. And Tiffany started to read. I mean, she just did. The one thing that I impressed on her about reading is that if you have a book, you're never alone.
She was in 5th grade. They have a program called Enterprise Village where the kids go to a place called Enterprise Village, and it's a mock city, and they have banks and they have stores, and you apply for the different positions. Well, Tiffany said, you know what, Mom? I want to be the mayor of Enterprise Village. She had big dreams even then.
I don't know why I decided to be mayor of Enterprise Village, but it was a little uncomfortable, especially, getting up in front of everyone and talking.
So for Tiffany to stand up, this girl that had problems with reading comprehension, reading out loud, being very shy, just getting up in front of people was a huge accomplishment. But then actually writing and giving a speech in front of people, that was amazing.
When she told me she was going there, yeah, I was thinking, well, you can be anything that you want to be.
I work at U.S. Ameribank, and I just recently got a new title as Senior Vice President of Branch Operations. I'm in charge of 28 branches from the operational side of things. My mom was very influential in my life, but it's just nice to have that other person that doesn't have to know everything that's going on, but could just be there if you just wanted to talk about something or needed help with something that's not going to judge you. I always wanted to be big, and I know that there are a lot of kids that struggle with literacy and just being in school or being bullied, and it's not fair for them not to have someone. So when it was coming to work, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. This is my opportunity to give back.
I found out years later the impact that our being together made and the mentoring made. So Tiffany, When I joined Messenger on Facebook, I found this note from you, and it was a year old. You sent it in 2015, and I get it in 2016. I'm just going to read it to you. Hello, Pat. Hope this message finds you well. Not sure if you remember me or not. You were a mentor to me when I was at Largo Central and Largo Middle. I have been meaning
to send you an email or a letter for a number of years just to tell you thank you for being such a huge influence in my life. I have worked my way up in the business world and am now the vice president of branch operations for a local bank. I truly believe that if you had not been in my life, I would have not come as far as I have. Thank you, Tiffany.
Give me a